When it comes to creating content and editing videos, you want to have tools on your desk that'll make it easier for you to create content and allow you to make videos faster. So in this video, I've included 5 accessories that I believe to be very important and essential to have in your workstation as a content creator. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the first desk accessory that I have on this list is a good keyboard. Now the keyboard that I got specifically for video editing was the Keychron C1, and this keyboard is a 10 keyless keyboard, and it also comes with keycaps for both Mac and PC, which allows you to use this keyboard well with both Mac and PC. And because it's a 10 keyless keyboard, it has dedicated arrow keys that make it very easy to edit and navigate through the timeline. It's also a mechanical keyboard, and in my opinion, having mechanical keys are a lot better than having membrane keys, so your typing experience should be much better. Now when I'm gaming, I usually have my Wooting 60HE, and I actually do use this keyboard for editing as well, but when I want dedicated arrow keys to make it easier to edit and like navigate through my editing timeline, then I can always go back to my Keychron C1, since this keyboard is bigger and it has dedicated arrow keys, whereas my Wooting 60HE is only a 60% keyboard. And now moving on to the next accessory on this list, and that would be a good mouse. Now personally, I got the Logitech MX Master 3S specifically for content creation and video editing. Now a lot of times I do tend to use my gaming mouse because I do just have it on my desk from when I'm gaming and stuff, which is the glorious Model O-, and I do tend to use this mouse for editing as well. But the nice thing about the Logitech MX Master 3S is that it has a more ergonomic design, and it also has a scroll wheel, so you can program this to do many things. I personally program this part of the mouse to help me zoom in and out of the timeline, and this can just make the whole process easier by using dedicated buttons on your mouse as shortcuts for your editing software. And when I want that functionality for video editing, I can always swap out my glorious Model O- for this mouse. And moving on to the third accessory that I have on this list, and that is a good pair of headphones. Now personally, the headphones that I use at my PC desk setup are a pair of Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros. These are also the 250 ohm versions, so they require quite a bit of power to drive, which is why I have them connected to my Audient Evo 4 audio interface. And this audio interface provides tons of power to drive these headphones, and the good thing is that it's also an audio interface, so if I want to use my Rode Pod mic at my desk setup as well, I can easily just plug in my Rode Pod mic to my Audient Evo 4 and I can record at my PC setup as well. And speaking of that, that leads me into my mic setup, which is the fourth accessory on this list. And obviously, as you can see right now, I'm using the Rode Pod mic, and if I want to record over at my PC, all I have to do is move this mic over, plug it into my Audient Evo 4, as well as plug in my Triton FET head, and then I can get nice, loud, and clear audio with this setup. Now right now, I currently have the mic plugged into my Zoom F3 audio recorder, and the good thing about this audio setup is that I have the DT990 Pros, which are a very nice sounding open back style of headphones, and I actually do prefer open back headphones since they allow me to hear my surroundings better rather than being closed off more like if I were to have closed back headphones. And the audio on these headphones are actually really good whether you're gaming, video editing, or even listening to music. And obviously the Rode Pod mic, which I'm using right now, is an amazing microphone, especially when it's paired with a good audio interface like the Audient Evo 4 or even the Zoom F3 audio recorder, which I'm using to record into this camera right now. And finally, moving on to the last accessory that I wanted to put on this list, and this is a good monitor. Now personally, I'd recommend an IPS monitor because they tend to have very accurate colors, which is very important when you're color grading in your video editing software, because you want your color grade to come out accurate so that it looks good on multiple devices. And since IPS monitors tend to be very color accurate, I definitely think that they're an amazing choice for color grading. Now OLED monitors would be the best panel for this, but they do tend to be a lot more expensive. So if you're not ready to spend spend that much on a monitor, then I would definitely recommend going with an IPS monitor, because when it comes to color grading, IPS is probably in second place right behind OLED. I'd also say that I'd recommend at least a 27-inch monitor as well, to give you enough screen space to edit on your timeline and see everything you've put on your editing timeline. Now personally, I use a 24-inch monitor and it's been working just fine, but I know that a lot of people use 27-inch monitors and bigger for video editing, but 24 inches will probably be fine. But since a lot of people recommend 27-inch monitors, I thought that I would recommend those instead. But like I said, I have a high refresh rate IPS 24-inch monitor running at 165 Hz, and this has been doing well for me for both video editing and even gaming. As when it comes to gaming, I do prefer to have a 24-inch monitor because it's smaller, but for editing I would like something a little bigger. But the problem is that I only have one desk for my PC setup, so I can't really split up my desk into a dedicated editing or gaming setup. So in order to compromise, I just went with a 24-inch monitor, and like I said, it's working just fine for video editing. But if you're truly getting a monitor just dedicated to video editing and you don't plan on gaming on it at all, then I would definitely recommend getting a monitor that's at least 27 inches or bigger. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up my list with 5 essential desk accessories that I recommend for content creators. And if this video helped you out, then definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button, and also make sure to check out any of my other videos that YouTube recommends above in the end screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.